welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about a comment that I got on a video maybe a couple of months back, which was I had a subscriber ask me, how do I read so much? Which I thought was a really interesting question that I wanted to dive into a little bit. And a bit of a rambly video because I have coffee. It's first thing in the morning. I have to give my hamster antibiotics in a little bit. So a nice little chill talk about books, I think, is a great way to start your weekend. Also, my big brother got me this mug for Christmas, and I love it. And I couldn't see any family this year, as a lot of us are struggling with, and it's like such a fun thing. It's such a little thing, but it was such like a nice surprise to have. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I read, the pacing that I read, and then some tips that maybe you could utilize to read a little bit more. Hopefully that's helpful. It's funny because I look at some people that read and I don't get how they read that much either. So I got a second comment about how I read so much, so I figured it was worth making a video about that people could reference. But I also think it's funny because it's such a subjective thing, because I don't feel that I read that much or that quickly. But let's get into it. I feel like I should close that window. Let's see if it balances the lighting a little. Yo, what do you know it does? Oh God. I just filmed my last video with that wide open. Drat. I am not very good at the YouTube, but it's fun, so I keep doing it. And then learning things directly after I film something. So, that aside, talking about reading. So I think I do read at a more rapid pace than some people. So there is that advantage when reading more. Naturally, I will fall into that bracket for sure. Anyways, so like that is a natural advantage of reading a little bit faster. I am by no means a speed reader. I've seen people that can speed read. It's fantastic. It's really cool. It's almost superhuman. That's not me. But again, the more you practice, the more you feel comfortable. So you will naturally begin to read faster. There are tips and tricks. If you're in a bit of a slog and you're not enjoying what you're reading, you can divide your page and read one word at the top of that line, the two words in the middle, and then the one at the end. It's something I learned in university when I was taking sciences. You can also quarter your page and read it that way as a way to slowly develop just having your page. So there's that. Let me show you an example, because I feel like that wasn't like the greatest introduction into that. Oh, I'm reading this book, so we're really playing a dangerous game opening it like that. So what you would do if I'm really not enjoying a book, but I hesitate to DNF stuff, is I will divide the page in my head and I will read one word, this word, that word, and the end. And through your eyes gazing over it, you're going to get the context of what you're reading and the general information, but not the detail. That is something you will grow into feeling more comfortable with. So to start off in university, our professor had us half the page and then half your halves. So then you're only reading about 8 to 10 words instead of like the full 15. And then as you get more comfortable with quartering your page, you will half it, and then it gets you through something that you otherwise wouldn't finish, or gets you through something quite quickly. As I'm not in school anymore and I don't have to get through stuff I don't like, I am more keen to DNF something. But if I'm just hell-bent on finishing it, or if I've invested a lot of time in it and I just have general fatigue of that story and need to get it done, then I will do that. It does not happen a lot. It will probably happen 1 or 2 books a year. So that's not the bulk of how I read quickly, but that is like a tip that I learned in university that you can use. Next, I want to talk about prioritizing. It's not the most fun tip that you can get, but it is a tip that's important, is prioritizing reading. So I do have the advantage that I actually don't like to do much indoors besides read. With COVID, naturally activities that I like to do, like going to a spin class or going to the gym or going to hang out with friends, going to have dinner with friends. I can't do any of that right now. I'm not a movie person by any stretch of the imagination. I don't like a lot of TV shows unless it's Friends or The Office, and those are just rewatches. I don't invest a lot of time in front of a TV. I forget my phone most days. Donald will either drop it off at my work or run back upstairs to get it for me. I just am not super attached to those things. So the biggest like time sucker I would think would be like podcasts or audiobooks, which is still reading. So that's like, it's a tip that you just have to be very mindful with, is prioritizing. So are you setting aside time every day to continue in a story? You have to make that time for something that you want to get better at or be more well-read. Yeah, it's not a super fun tip, but it's just like the most realistic and practical one I can give, is you're not gonna get any reading done if you're giving zero time to it. Are you playing video games for 3 hours a day? Cut that time in half. Spend an hour and a half playing video games and an hour and a half reading. Are you watching TV for 4 hours? Exactly the same thing. Probably don't watch TV for 4 hours. It can't be good for you. Do not ingest that much. Although in saying that, I read for 4 hours a day-ish. So that's a lot of time. I also like don't have kids, and I just have very like low-key pets. My dog's a senior. I have a hamster and guinea pigs. So like very low-key animals that just really like to sleep a lot. And when they play, it's quite cute, but it's only for like 20 minutes at a time. So that's like, I understand that there's a lot of what I'm saying that is unrealistic for some people, but you have to adapt it to your lifestyle. And whatever time you can create within that lifestyle, put it towards that and prioritize that little bit of you time you might have. Prioritize it to reading and to what you would like. And also, read before bed. Do not use your phone in bed or around your bed, anywhere near your bed or sleep time. It's just not good for your sleeping. So try that for sure. Reading is a great, great alternative to flipping around on your phone. And that actually brings me to my last tip that I could give, which is, if you are addicted to your phone, take your phone and put it across the room. Put on a vinyl, which is what I like to do, or go put your phone to charge, play a song on your Bluetooth or on your speakers far away, but get it out of your hands and get it out of your reach, and then sit on the couch in a very comfortable manner where you won't want to get up and watch how productive of an adult you can be if you do not have your iPhone constantly sitting in your hand. I think you'd be surprised, because I was surprised a couple of years ago when I took this as a reading habit and got my phone away from me. So every little buzz, I wasn't checking who was texting me and texting them back and having a conversation, which is great, especially in COVID. Definitely need to stay connected with friends, but making reading time set aside just for reading and no technology around is such a great way to unwind and reset, and just probably great for your eyes, to be honest, because it can't be good to look at your phone all the time. And the last tip, but it seems like a no-brainer, but also like I've fallen into not doing that before, so I'm gonna say it because it's worth saying, is read what you like, read what you enjoy, not what you think you should. enjoy. Who cares if you like romance or fantasy or nonfiction or a little bit of everything? Don't read what's trendy or what other people are reading, what your friends are reading. Just read what you enjoy and watch how much easier it is to get through a book. I think people that judge what other people like to read it's a bit silly anyway. So don't listen to their opinions. Just read what you like. It doesn't have to be popular. It doesn't have to be trendy. And if you're on the internet or you're by yourself, people enjoy watching other people enjoy something. So don't feel you have to do what's popular. Don't feel you have to do what everyone else is doing. Just find something you like, whether it's comics or manga or whatever. Find it and explore that avenue of reading. And that is honestly probably what's going to get you the furthest, because you will sink time into something you love. If you're just trying to get through what you think you should be getting through, it's probably not going to happen unless you have a militant dedication to it. But also that's not fun. So I hope that helped some people, and I hope that answered those couple of subscribers that asked that question. Thank you so much for asking that question. I had a lot of fun answering it, and I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you have a fantastic week and or weekend wherever you are in the world. Stay safe.